Good morning. Happy Monday, friends. I am Beth. I am the Fitness Princess, and today I want to continue my conversation with you on binge eating and sharing my story. So let's just jump right in. I want to kind of set the stage for you. For those of you who are just jumping in, maybe you've never heard my story before, let this allow you to understand where I was at. I was the heaviest I'd ever been, probably about 20, 25 pounds heavier than I am now. And I was working out, but there's this phrase that says you can't outrun a bad diet. And so I was paying no attention to what I was eating. I was just working out. I thought if I could get working out nailed down, that would be it. In secret, I was buying a lot of foods that are not so healthy for you. A lot of sugary foods, a lot of processed carbohydrates, cookies, pies, cakes, stuff like that. And I was eating them when no one was around. And that led to me binging on those foods. I would tell myself, no, you can't have those. Those aren't the healthiest things for you to eat. So then I would deny myself a treat, and in turn it made me want those even worse, and I would buy them and then I would eat in private. And I was going to bed feeling very miserable, and in turn waking up feeling miserable because I slept so poorly the night before. So that's where I was just last summer. I came out last April or so and said this is what I have been struggling with, but it took several months before I finally got a handle on it and figured out how to help myself. I had already been jumping into reading personal development. Like I had mentioned, I read Made to Crave, and I was also reading and having daily time with God. That was very important in this journey to me because my journey is not just physical but also very spiritual. And so while I was doing those things, God was convicting me of needing to change my diet, needing to change the foods that I was eating. And I had to pray a lot. A lot. I cannot stress that enough because I had these cravings. You crave what you eat. And what was I eating? Junk. And so I was craving those things because I was consuming those things. And to get those cravings out, you basically have to detox from all of it. And so I decided, I finally just put off all my excuses and said, okay, the Whole30 program has helped me once. It can help me again. I know that it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. And in the middle of October, just a couple months ago, I completed my first Whole30 in over a year and a half. It had been that long. And here's what that program did for me at that point. If you are not familiar with the Whole30 program, it is a reset for your health, your hormones, and your relationship with food. And for me, it was much more than that. So you're not eating any processed foods at all. No sugar, no alcohol, no legumes. Basically, what you are eating is lean meats, veggies, fruit, and healthy fats. And some very healthy carbs, like sweet potatoes. But those were few and far in between. So I was basically detoxing all of this junk out of my system. I was not consuming caffeine. I wasn't eating sweet foods, and it was rough. I had a headache. I didn't feel good some days, but I knew that it was going to be worth it. I knew that that's what I needed to do because I was so dependent on those foods in the past. So what that did was it suppressed my sugar dragon, if you will. I don't know if you've ever eaten sugar. You get this dragon inside of you that says, I want all things sugar. That was me. And so it had suppressed that down. Since I wasn't consuming it, I was not craving it. I was sleeping so much better. I have been such a light sleeper for the past couple years. I have no idea why. I used to sleep great. And then I realized the food was affecting my sleeping. And so when I was eating the right foods for my body, I was sleeping a lot better. And part of the Whole30 program is not weighing yourself and not measuring yourself. So not taking any sort of physical measurements. And that is exactly what my brain needed, because I needed to get rid of the scale mindset of I'm only worth what the scale says, because that was bull crap. That was a lie that God or that Satan was whispering in my head, that you're only worth that number. No. The number doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you anything at all. So I needed to get rid of that mindset. And so taking the scale and the measurements out of it allowed a lot of freedom. A lot of freedom to figure out how I felt in my clothes. Because before, I was feeling like a busted can of biscuits, if you will. And I was set on not buying any bigger clothes. I didn't want to have to buy bigger clothes. I wanted to wear what was in my closet. And so when you take the scale and the measurements out, you get to feel better in your clothes. Because ultimately, weight loss, when you clean up your diet, weight loss is going to be a side effect. And that's a great side effect. So I was feeling good. My insides were happy. My stomach was no longer hurting. I wasn't going to bed miserable. With the Whole30 program, you eat 3 full meals a day. There's no counting anything. And so I was feeling fantastic. I was realizing that what I thought were cravings of hunger were actually my body telling me I needed more water. So I was drinking more water. And it was a great feeling. A lot of non-scale victories for me. And it was in that process where I continued to read personal development and continue to read my Bible daily, that I was allowing myself to heal from the inside out. And I'm not going to say that in 30 days I was magically cured, because that's not true. I'm still struggling. I still have those days of I want sugar, but I know how to control those things now. And so sometimes a Whole30 doesn't work. Sometimes you need longer. Sometimes you need more than 30 days. And it's okay to learn what your body is telling you. So for me, if I need longer than 30 days, I am going to go longer than 30 days so that I can continue to suppress the sugar dragon. During the Whole30, I was allowed to create a plan. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. What was my plan, and how I transitioned from 30 days of strict food plan to feeling free and wild and not having any chains of what I'm supposed to be eating. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow when I share what my plan was and how I overcame some of those cravings and desires once I was done with the Whole30 program. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Just comment below and I'll get back to you. And if you are having some of the same emotional feelings that maybe I was, reach out. I would love to encourage you. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.